Midweek insights, inspiration, and motivation to help you get through your week. So we are in the middle of summer at the time of this recording. It is June 16th, and we've just celebrated Father's Day and my daughter's first birthday, and we are feeling like in the thick of summer. We're going to have a heat wave apparently this week, and I don't know about you, but it feels like the year is zooming by quickly, almost too quickly. We're like at the halfway mark of the year, and it feels like everyone I talk to describes transitioning from the running around of the school year to now the summer, sort of activities and getting kids into summer activities and transitioning schedules, and it's even for myself, I find myself daydreaming about, it would be nice to spend a few more days at home, tending to my garden or going to the beach. For us, we are transitioning to the summer schedule, which is really my husband's office transitions to summer hours, and my son has lots of field trips planned. We have a week at the Jersey Shore planned. But, and also, within my private practice, that tends to quiet down because, clients as well, they're off on their summer vacation. But fewer clients typically means more opportunities for reflection for myself, personally and professionally, and it also allows for tweaks, right? So I get the time to slow down and assess what's working and what's not working. I think about, the professional and personal goals and what I set out to do at the beginning of the year and where I am now. And sometimes I am unpleasantly surprised, and I'm sure you can relate, right? Like we all have the New Year's resolutions, the goals, the mile markers, the things that we, wanted for ourselves at the beginning of the year. And now we get to the halfway point of the year and we realize, man, I've totally veered off the path. Like, what happened? Like, how did I forget that I wanted to work on this thing? How did I let other things take priority over these things that I truly believe to be important, right? And it can be our health, it could be financial goals, it could be, education goals, job goals, whatever it is, right? Like, and you just find yourself maybe feeling disappointed or disheartened to see that you haven't been working on the goal, or the goal that you set up for yourself is going slower than you had hoped. You may be feeling, at this point, really discouraged or just about burned out, right? Like the idea of seeing that you didn't get to what you wanted to go into and then say, okay, starting July 1, I'm going to get back into the routine. But the reality is that you might be burned out, right? Like for myself, I get into that mode. I sort of have an awareness of, okay, didn't get there. And I, often will go back to motivating myself or trying to motivate myself. And I'll listen to motivational podcasts, or I'll read like motivational books and try to tell myself, okay, like I've got to reset. And I went down this weird rabbit hole of like summer reset or halfway reset and 6-month reset and how can you push through, and as I was going down the rabbit hole, I came across this trend, I don't know which may be new, but it's new to me, called the 75 Hard Challenge. I've never heard of it. I mean, I have, I guess, it's sort of like peripherally, but I didn't know anything about it other than I've kind of seen people who did it and raved about it or talked about how it was awful. But I went down the rabbit hole because I was like, what is this about? And from what I could gather, you are tasked, like you got 75 days and you were tasked with completing these 5 tasks every day and for 75 days. And it includes picking a diet of your choice and sticking to it. Within also this goal is apparently you're supposed to abstain from alcohol consumption, drink a gallon of water every day, complete 2 45-minute workouts every day. One of them has to be outside, reading 10 pages of a book every day, and taking a progress picture every day. And the rules are intended to stay rigid, and if you miss a day, you must reset the clock and begin again from day one. In theory, this was something that intrigued me, and I initially thought like this, I could benefit for something like that. And it wouldn't hurt to implement some accountability into my seemingly chaotic routine. In theory, what is being asked of you are all things that could really benefit you if you stuck to it in the long term. But something for me was off about it when I thought about whether I would actually attempt this. And I think for me, there's a realization that it didn't correlate to a why that could motivate me to tackle this challenge. Like in all things that we do things because we strive to be better, healthier, smarter, richer, or whatever. But it felt like in this moment, those things seemed hollow. Again, I think because there's some aspect of burnout or some aspect of, wanting to just enjoy the summer. And for me, what I realized was that what was missing for me in this challenge, quote unquote, is that there was no room for fun or creativity, right? Like it was like do these things, but like if you think about it, what is the point of having the healthier body, the smarter brain, the before and the after, the hydrated cells from drinking a gallon of water if you're not having fun or feeding your passions? So instead of trying to push through, I wanted to lean into fun and attach meaning to the things. If I was going to do the 75-day challenge, I would make it my own. And for me, it's like, for example, if I'm going to read every day, it has to be something that maybe helps me be a better mom or makes me learn some new activities that I can do with my kids. How can I be a better homemaker, a better gardener? The daily walk is to improve my mental health and my creativity, not necessarily for me to lose the weight. It gets me away from the screen and sitting too much. The daily picture. Again, I'm kind of back and forth with it, but I am intrigued with this process. And in part, what I'm getting from the idea of if I do this 75-day challenge is, what you pay attention to is what you will devote energy to. And in part, why we get away from our goals is because we're not keeping our eye on the ball. We're not paying attention. We're not giving it its proper energy, right? And so in part, it's about, what are you focusing your attention on? What are you focusing your energy on? Is it on mindless things that are not important? Or are there things that move the needle and help you be the person that you want to be? Which I'm all big about, right? So for me, I haven't decided. I am going to do the 75-day challenge, which if I calculate it right, will basically be for the summer. It would get me through September, I guess. But whatever it is that I choose to do for the 75 days, it is telling myself that I'm going to choose to devote my attention and my energy to, and it has to have purpose, and it has to align with who I want to be. And so I encourage you to do the same thing. I want to incorporate some restoration and replenishment, but I ultimately want to keep my eye on the ball. So I want to connect that 75-day challenge to something that has meaning and has purpose. So I want to encourage you to join me on a 75-day challenge. I don't know when I'm going to start, but I encourage you to lean into what can you pay attention to? What are the one or two things that you can pay attention to every day for the next 75 days that you believe would make you a better person, a better mom, a better worker, a better whatever it is? And I would love to hear if you have done a 75-day challenge, and if you are going to do a 75-day challenge, and what is going to be included in